Hello students, today we will discuss a very important topic of optics which is part 8. This topic is refraction. Before this we have seen how the reflection takes place through the plane mirror, through various curved mirrors. Now the next and important topic is refraction. You have seen so many situations which is on the screen right now. This type of situations we have seen. What is actually happening here? There are a shape and you will see the position of objects changed when we are observing the object from one medium to the next medium. Why is it so? Because there is a light when it passes from one medium which is transparent. If it passes from one transparent medium to the next transparent medium, usually it deviates from its path of propagation. This deviation from its path of propagation is known as the refraction. There are some situations when the refraction will take place, why the refraction takes place, what happens when the refraction takes place, we'll see here. So, what is the refraction? When light ray passes from one transparent medium to the next transparent medium, or another transparent parent medium. The light condition applies here is that light which is passing from one transparent medium to the next transparent medium, there is an interface between these two medium, it should fall obliquely. Okay, obliquely, we will discuss it very soon. Then there is a deviation from its path of propagation, due to which we see the position, shape of object changed. This is known as refraction. Okay, I have seen obliquely. Let's see. Suppose it is here the medium 1, it is the medium 2, and it is the interface, means these two mediums are just meeting here. So it is the interface of this medium. If a light falls here obliquely, then we'll draw normal. Okay, then from this normal, this light after refraction will get deflected either toward the normal or away from the normal. We will discuss it later. But the situation is that it should fall obliquely, means the angle of incidence. It is the angle of incidence. This angle of incidence should be greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. It is very important thing. Okay, less than 90 degree, because if the light falls, it is your normal, it is the interface. If the light, sorry, not normal now, when from the point of incidence we draw normal, so I had erased. If the light falls at 90 degree, clear, then there will be no deviation and it will be go to the straight line. Clear? So the condition is that when we want to see the refraction, that light should fall obliquely to the interface, or the angle of incidence should be greater than 0 and less than 90 degree. Then we will see the path of propagation of light is deviated. Now the question comes in mind, why the path of propagation deviates. This deviation takes place because the speed of light in vacuum, we know the speed of light the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Okay, when the light changes its medium, means the speed of light varies from one medium to the next medium. So it was the main thing by which we are just observing this refraction takes place due to the change in speed of light. Then the question comes that why the light, when it is normal or when it is there is 90 degree, doesn't deviate. There should be the change in the speed of light. There is a concept of the phase, which or the wave fronts of light, which is just beyond your syllabus, which we'll discuss in our higher classes, because the wave fronts should be or want to be in the same phase, so they just slow down and try to get this, you will see that path which is the smallest, and so that they will reach soon. So it was the main it was the actual concept, but the things what you were required to know is just the how the refraction takes place, what is the condition of refraction, and why the refraction takes place, because the speed of light changes from one medium to the next medium. Okay, now the next thing, if the refraction takes place, the refracted light, let's see some nomenclature or some important terms associated with this. It is the medium 1 and it is the medium 2. It is the interface. Suppose it is a light incident on this interface, so it is the incident ray. Clear? Then we will draw the normal. It is the imaginary line perpendicular to the interface and from the point of incidence. Then this light, when entered into the second medium, it will deviate. Suppose it is away from the normal. This light is known as refracted rays. Refracted ray. Now there are two angles. When the incident ray makes the angle with the normal, it is your normal. This angle is known as angle of incidence, and this angle, which is the angle between normal and refracted ray, is the angle of refraction. Okay, these are the important terms associated with. Now the next things come in mind, that this refracted ray, either it can move toward the normal or away from the normal. There are two situations. Actually it is deviating, so in case of deviation it can be toward the normal or away from the normal. So what is the main factor which decide that the refracted ray will be toward or means the factor which decide the bending of light? So let's see. It is your refracted ray. It can be of deviate in two forms, either toward the normal or away from the normal. Away from the normal. We have seen the speed of light change from one medium to the next medium. If the speed of light, suppose there are two medium A and medium B. Okay. If the speed of light in comparison to this, if the speed of light reduces, then it is known as optically denser medium. Denser medium. And if speed of light increases, then it is optically rarer medium. Rarer medium. Okay. And if the light enters into the optically denser medium, then it moves toward the normal. Toward the normal. And if it enters in the rarer medium, then it moves away from the normal. Clear? So you can see that there is a term optical density, which is decided by the speed of light. And so you have seen, if we have seen that if the refracted rays moving to the denser medium, then the refracted ray will move toward the normal. And if the refracted ray is moving to the rarer medium, then it will move away to the normal. Then there is a term optical density, which is decided by the speed of light, but actually it is measured by, its measurement takes place by refractive index. Refractive index. This refractive index we will discuss in our next class. So we have seen how the refracted rays bends actually. Now let's see one example. Due to this bending, how we just see the image of any object. Suppose it is a beaker having water. There is a coin kept. Okay. And you want to see it from here. Then what will be its position? How you, or what is the position when you will see it? The thing which we should keep in mind is that we have to consider the ray which is coming from the object to the eye. Actually, the student usually confuse and draw the ray from here. No, we have to draw the ray from this object which is reaching to the eye. So let's see, suppose this ray is just going here. Then there is interface. We will draw the normal. Okay, perpendicular line. And this is the denser medium, and the air, it is rarer medium, and it is water. Then in the rarer medium, the refracted ray will move away from the normal. So then it will be like this. Okay. And it is your eyes. Then what will be actually happen? We will draw this refracted ray behind, and what we will get? We will get the position of image here. Okay. It will seems to be coming from this position. Because of this coin you will see that it is lifted upward just because of this. So in this way we have seen that we just get the different position of object in case of this refraction. So the next topic is that how the refraction takes place through the glass slab. If I am talking about the glass slab, the thing which you should keep in mind that this glass slab should be sufficient thick. If it is thin, then you will not able to see. It is a very important activity in your class. We have to do it in lab also. What we have to do, suppose it is a glass slab, just label it like A, B, C, D. At first, we keep it on a plain paper, fix the plain paper on the board, and then keep this glass slab on the plain paper and label it like A, B, C, D. Then put a pin here. Okay. This from the pin, there will be a ray coming obliquely to this glass slab, and you know it is air, it is glass slab is denser medium. So what will happen actually, it will move toward the normal. Okay, it will move toward the normal, and then again there is interface from denser to the rarer, then it is normal, and then it will move away from the normal. You can see this. So what we have seen, it is incident ray, it is refracted ray, and it is emergent ray. From where to where? Emergent ray. We can just, if it is T and it is, let me just draw, M, N, O. So T to M, it is incident ray. M to N, it is Mn, it is refracted ray, and NO, it is your emergent ray. Okay, then the angle, it is the angle of incidence. It is the here, it is the angle of refraction at first which has taken place. Then here it is again angle of incidence at the second point, and it was first, and it is R2 angle of refraction. This angle of refraction we also call the angle of emergence. Clear? So what you will see that it is how we will see actually, from here we will see, we'll keep our eyes, and we'll put one pin also here or where we are just able to see, and then we will remove this glass slab and we will draw this line. And you will see, if you draw this incident ray, you will see that this emergent ray and this ray are parallel to each other. Okay, these two rays are parallel to each other, but they don't overlap because there is a deviation. This, if you call it XY, then this XY length is the deviation, path of deviation. So in this glass slab, the thing which is very important, the first thing, it is the angle of incidence. Clear? Then there is an angle of refraction at first, then angle of incidence at the second time when this same ray falls on this medium CD, and then there is the R2 we also call the angle of emergence. If you measure, then you will find that angle of incidence first is equal to the angle of refraction or angle of emergence. It is very important thing when the refraction takes place through the glass slab. So on the basis of these studies of refraction, its bending, its path of deviation, refraction through the glass slab, we got the two laws of refraction. Let's see what are these laws. So at first, the important thing is that the ray which is incident, law of reflection, laws of refraction. First thing is that the ray of incidence, important thing, the ray of incidence which fall on the interface having the angle greater than 0 less than 90 means obliquely, the ray of incidence which is obliquely to the interface of two medium, and ray of incidence situation I have told you, ray of refraction and the normal. With the help of that glass slab activity, we can see that ray of incidence, ray of refraction and normal, all the three are lies on the same plane. Okay, now the second rule. The second rule is also known as your Snell's law. What it says, if it is your medium first, it is medium 2 and a ray falling on this incident ray, it is normal, and if it is away from this, it is your R, it is I. Okay, it says that the sin I, the value of sin I by sin R means the ratio of sin of value of sin I and value of sin R, angle R, is constant. This is your Snell's law. So it was all about the introduction of refraction, in which we have seen what are the different conditions, and this class is very important, which actually create the foundation of your concept of refraction. In this way we will just study further how the refraction takes place to various surfaces and what are the refractive index and various things. So I hope this will help you to build up your concept about refraction. Thank you very much.